You saw it, didn't you? She muttered. Awkwardly but honestly, I nodded. After all, there's nothing to be done about what I'd accidentally seen. The image of her heart was spinning in my mind, refusing to leave. What I had unintentionally seen while I was heavily drunk was... My name is Steve Patterson. I'm just a typical office worker. I was leading a moderately enjoyable life until today when things became a little out of the ordinary. I'm on a company trip. We're staying at this old but charming inn, complete with a hot spring and clean rooms. It's pretty awesome. Our company isn't that big, only about 20 people, but this year we performed particularly well, so they decided to give us nice accommodations. 2 male staff share a room, and female staff got single rooms. There aren't many female staff, and it's probably a special treat for our top performer, Catherine. Catherine is a stunning top saleswoman. Despite being my coworker, she is nothing like me. She is excellent and kind, like a goddess. As you might imagine, she was surrounded by the boss and department manager during the banquet at our trip. The boss and manager were clearly smitten with the hostess. Amidst all this, my gaze was directed at Catherine. Catherine, we have high hopes for you this year. You're our company's ace. Thank you, she replied. While watching her smile from afar, I sipped my drink. Even if it's pathetic, the thought of an average Joe like me drinking with Catherine felt audacious. As I was drinking like this, I ended up drinking more than I thought. The bosses were having a great time with the hostesses, and their boorish laughter echoed throughout the banquet hall. The female staff had returned to their rooms early because it was getting late, so it seemed like the bosses were having their fun time. Feeling dizzy from drinking too much, I made my exit in a hurry. My room was in a traditional inn that, unusually for a hotel, had names and numbers on each room. Apparently, they used to have just names but started adding numbers to make it easier as they had more guests. Thanks to such efforts, this bed and breakfast has a long history as an established business. I looked at my room number -30. Up there it is. The inn didn't have an auto lock, so I didn't need to bother with locking the door. Also, as I had a habit of carrying all my valuables with me, I didn't lock my door since I didn't leave anything valuable in the room. I opened the door with a creak, took off my shoes, and opened the sliding door. What? For some reason, Catherine was in the room. The moment I saw her, my drunkenness instantly sobered, and I closed the door. Whoa, sorry, wrong room. Even though I had sobered up, I was still staggering, and I stumbled on the threshold of the entrance and fell spectacularly. Wait, are you okay? Catherine tried to ask in a flustered manner, but she couldn't say anything. The scene was spinning in my head. She had a glamorous and fit body. Her skin was translucent white. I saw things in my head that I shouldn't have seen, yet they kept appearing over and over again. But then I remembered the big bruise on her side. That bruise, I felt like I had seen it somewhere. Even as I thought about this, perhaps because I was too drunk, I fell asleep right there at the entrance. A few hours later, I was prostrating myself before Catherine. It was to be expected. If Catherine made a complaint, there was no chance I would win. My life was to be decided by Catherine's forgiveness. Although Catherine looked displeased, she said, "You were really drunk, so I'll forgive you this time, but don't drink that much anymore." I'm sorry. Actually, it was quite embarrassing, but Catherine had put me to bed in her room after I fell asleep on the spot. I had shown her a pathetic sight, and my pride was completely crushed. No matter how kind of goddess she is, it's only natural that she would be disgusted by my series of actions. Just as I had prepared myself for this, she finally opened her mouth. "Aren't you going to say anything?" Her usual confident smile was nowhere to be found. She seemed a bit down, lacking confidence. From my perspective as a man, I had been shown a captivating scene, and I was actually thankful for it. As I was considering my words carefully to avoid causing a big problem, she murmured, "You saw the bruise, didn't you?" "I saw it, but what about it?" "Doesn't it disappoint you?" "Everyone says so. If only it weren't for that bruise, I'd be perfect." I did see the bruise, but the impact of the other parts was too strong, and I didn't think that bruise was something I needed to worry about. I don't think there's such a thing as a perfect person. It's kind of like your trademark, and it's cool. I inadvertently blurted out those words. Then she widened her eyes in surprise. At the same time, I felt a sense of déjà vu. Had I said this line somewhere before? You're really different, Steve. You're the second person to say that to me. Oh, was it your boyfriend? Isn't it well known in the office that I'm single? Are you being sarcastic? I was told that by a classmate in elementary school. Well, I've transferred to another school due to my parents' circumstances, so I hadn't seen him in a while. Upon hearing her say this, I exclaimed, "It's a distant memory, but there was a girl with a bruise in my class. I think it was around the second grade. During gym class, while changing, one of the boys said to her, 'You, what's that black spot?' So gross. A few boys joined in the mockery, and she ended up crying. I remember saying the same thing to her. She ended up moving away, and I can't even remember her name anymore." Could it be Catherine? Wasn't your elementary school before you moved Maplewood Elementary? Yes, but how do you know that, Steve? Yeah, I just remembered that there was a girl in my class who had a birthmark like yours. You moved away before we went to the 4th grade, right? Yes, that's right. Wait, Steve, were you the boy from back then? It turns out Catherine and I had attended the same elementary school. Catherine's parents divorced at the time, and she moved with her mother, changing her last name to her current one. I never thought I'd reunite with her as a coworker at the same company, but you remembered me after seeing me. That's kind of awkward. I'm sorry about that. It's fine, but we should probably head back to our rooms. It's late. I was feeling better, so I apologized to Catherine once more before heading back to my room. A month later, Catherine and I had gotten close enough to have tea together occasionally. That's because Catherine had become a little comfortable with me, as I didn't get disappointed seeing her birthmark. We'd have tea and sometimes even a drink or two when we did. It was almost always time for Catherine's running session. Why does nobody value you? Because I'm just not that good. What are you talking about? You quietly handle administrative tasks and help others without anyone noticing. You need to assert yourself more. Catherine's complaints were mostly about my job evaluation. I'm simply doing what I think will make everyone's job easier, nothing more. Catherine insists that it's incredible, but I think it's an overstatement. When I say so, Catherine always pouts. Seeing her like that was kind of cute, and I thought our relationship would continue like this forever. But then an incident occurred that marked the end of this relationship. Catherine said she was going to meet a client, and then all contact with her was cut off. Our company deals with dyeing, and Catherine was supposed to be visiting a factory in the countryside today, but she hasn't returned to the office for hours. No one can get in touch with Catherine, and the factory says she came for a visit and then left. Even when the work hours ended, Catherine hadn't come back, and her mother, who is her emergency contact, also didn't know where she was. I was supposed to be done for the day, but it was hard to believe that Catherine would go somewhere without reporting to the office. I decided to go looking for Catherine after work. The road leading to the factory is rarely used by vehicles. It was dark at night, and there was little I could do on my own other than look down at the mountain from the road. But maybe there was some kind of clue. As I was driving, I found Catherine's car stopped on the side of the road, but Catherine was nowhere to be found. The driver's seat door was open, and the keys were still in the ignition. "Catherine, where are you?" It was then I heard a frail voice from the other side of the guardrail, meaning it was from the woods beyond the guardrail. There wasn't a paved slope, and at the bottom of it was where I found Catherine. Her clothes were tattered as if she had fallen down. She was weakly raising her hand in distress. I immediately contacted the paramedics, and Catherine was rescued. During her fall, she twisted her ankle and had some minor scrapes, but thankfully her life was not in danger. She mentioned that her car had broken down on her way back from the client's place. While checking out the issue, she lost her balance due to her high heels and fell through a gap in the guardrail. "Catherine, why were you there?" "I'm glad you were, but it's strange." So I told her I thought something might have happened. "I was looking for you because I knew you weren't the type to skip work without telling anyone." Hearing this, she blushed and smiled. "How about going to the aquarium next time as a thank you?" This was clearly an invitation for a date. It was different from the usual casual suggestion for drinks. This had me puzzled, but I declined her offer. Let's go when you're fully recovered. You've twisted your ankle, after all. We should start with somewhere closer. I'd like to be the one to ask you out to the aquarium." Upon hearing this, Catherine seemed pleased. There was a reason why I declined. I had planned to ask her out to the aquarium myself and confess my feelings to her. A man should make the first move. Well, that's just my pride talking. But in the end, I wasn't able to ask her to go to the aquarium. The reason being, a week after Catherine's accident, we were informed that our company was to be merged. It was so sudden and surprising. But given the shaky performance of the company, I could understand if the boss was doing this to protect our livelihoods. We had good performance this year, but we had been struggling for the past few years. The grand company trip we had, that was the last of it. That's why it was so luxurious. So it was inevitable for the company to merge. But the problem was with the company we were merging with. It was a major fashion company, and we were to be assigned to its newly established dyeing department. The boss of that company was Catherine's mother. After her divorce, she had started a small company and had built it up to its current size. When I went missing, the boss contacted my mom. Right when he called her again, saying I was found, she started looking into the company. Catherine's mother had always let her live her life the way she wanted, never interfering in her work, but she had gotten worried that the company environment might not be good, given her daughter's predicament. Upon investigating, she fell in love with our dyeing work. The boss talk swiftly concluded, given the dismal business performance of our company. The paperwork is still in process, but it seems to be ongoing. A company transfer. I was thinking about this nonchalantly when suddenly the boss tapped me on the shoulder. "Steve, can I talk to you for a moment?" The boss was looking at me seriously. Could it be that he's going to say, "I'm sorry, but you're fired"? The pressure from the boss was intense. "Yes, the truth is you're the only one being transferred to a different department." "What? Am I not in the dyeing department?" I was surprised as I received an explanation from the boss. Apparently, based on the recommendation from a woman named Catherine, I was the only one assigned to the main office. I was shocked by this, but Catherine too was going to be assigned to the office. When I told my mom about your hard work, she said she wanted you in the office. She's a tough person, even with her own family. So it wasn't just because I recommended you, it's based on your achievements, Catherine said. I was perplexed by what Catherine said, but I wanted to make the most of this opportunity that I had been given. Besides, I didn't want to disgrace Catherine, who had recommended me. I'll do my best. And thus, I progressed in my new company, which was about 20 years ago. Now I'm in my 50s. Thanks to my hard work back then, I'm now an assistant to the CEO. The company has grown significantly under a new CEO, but the new role keeps me busy at work and even at home. "Steve, where's the wine?" "Come on, Catherine, you're drinking too much." I scold my wife, Catherine, who has finished a whole bottle of wine at home. Since joining the office, we work together more, and although I originally intended to confess my feelings at the aquarium, Catherine confessed to me first. So we started dating and then got married. We've been blessed with children, and we're leading a successful life together. Catherine took over the company, and I'm supporting her. But no matter how many years pass, Catherine keeps leading me. I find it absolutely endearing. Why not? It's our home, so it's okay to get drunk. You'll catch a cold if you sleep on the floor again. I don't need to hear that from you. I was at a loss for words. We've been together for 20 years, but she never fails to make fun of me. But I'm not upset. After all, if it weren't for that incident, I wouldn't have been able to spend time with her like this. All right, if you get too drunk, I'm sleeping on the couch. I don't want to sleep alone, so I'll stop drinking, Catherine says, smiling. I want to stay together until our smiles become all wrinkled. Thinking so, we enjoy our evening drinks in moderation, as always.
You've been fired. I went out of my way to hire you. Therefore, I'm shocked that you're such a worthless employee. I was fired from my position as a sales representative for a large clothing company because I was unable to enhance my performance. However, it soon became a well-known store after I helped my lovely childhood friend with her business. I'll make it up to you enough. Come over here, my normally self-assured childhood pal said hesitantly in my ear. I allowed her to encircle my waist with her arms. Jason. A familiar, high-pitched voice called my name. My name is Jason, and I work in sales for Valora, a well-known clothing brand. I would rather live a peaceful life, yet I believe I can communicate well enough to discuss clothing with others. All I want to do is think about clothing. I don't want to release anything into the world that I don't want to sell. I only want to offer clothing that I genuinely believe in. In spite of this, I somehow end up working in sales for this company that manufactures mainstream apparel in large quantities. My sales performance is among the worst, of course. Jason, are you working hard today too? Emily, the president's daughter, is the only person in this enormous office who would address me by my first name. She interacts with me frequently for an unknown cause. You have talent, Jason, therefore you should put in a lot of effort for me as well. You will eventually take over this business. Let's continue to put in a lot of effort together indefinitely. She talks to me like she's my girlfriend every day when she visits my desk. However, I can't ignore her in front of all the employees because she is the president's daughter and the reason I was employed by this company. Tonight, Jason and I are going on a date. Come to this restaurant with me. I must tell you something really essential. All right. I can see what would occur if I didn't. Everything around another employee went flying through the air when they had a problem with a client. And that person left the following day. She whispered in my ear, "See you later," and walked out of the sales section. You're so lucky, man, exclaimed my coworker at the adjacent desk, who had been acting as though she hadn't seen the entire affair. How did you acquire a female with your level of beauty? That's the kind of girl I want to date. She looks after you, and your future is safe, regardless of how well you achieve. It's the best. I'm sure that everyone in the sales department shares my opinion. I tapped the keyboard in front of me sharply without answering my colleague's taunts. I went to the restaurant Emily had recommended after work. As she had described, it was an opulent French restaurant. You're late, Jason. I had become weary of waiting. Emily was waiting, already seated. I sat down on the other side of her. Jason, what do you want to drink? What about a glass of wine? Let's get the sparkles going. I'll let you do it. You have such a push and pull personality. That's one of the things I love about you. In order to have a proper conversation, I called you here today. What do you suppose the matter is? I don't know. Come on. Even though I confess my love to you every day, you haven't noticed. You're really dull. So, Jason, let's get married. I'm well aware of Emily's outrageous personality, so I wasn't too surprised. In fact, she says similar things so often that I don't even know how serious she is. If we get married and run this company together, it would go really well. You hate the sales department, don't you? If we get married, you can get out of there and get promoted quickly, and we can make a lot of clothes together. I got irritated. It's not about wanting to get promoted. I just love clothes and want to make the ones I want to make. I refuse. Why not? It's only good things for you. I think it's a good idea. If we make clothes together, it'll be so much fun. And if we get married, you can always design the clothes I'll wear. You can always think about clothes, and I'll always be with you. I don't want to make clothes with you, I blurted out. Emily's face started to cloud over. What do you mean by that? It means I have no intention of marrying you. Asterisk crash. Asterisk Emily stood up with fierce energy and stormed toward me. As soon as she got close, she yanked my tie hard, bringing my face almost against hers. Do you know what you're saying? Do you know who made it possible for you to work here? I appreciate it. I don't need your gratitude. Show it with your actions. I'm sorry, but it's just not possible anymore. Fine. If that's your attitude, let's see how you like wandering the streets again. You can't do anything on your own anyway. Can't do anything on my own. That phrase hit me hard. Fine. Thank you for everything. I brushed off Emily's hand, stood up, and walked out of the private room. Hey, stop right there. You think this is over? Her voice echoed down the hallway. I left the restaurant feeling crushed by a heavy black cloud of emotion. The next day, I didn't go to work. No calls from the office. I stayed holed up in my one-room apartment in the city with the curtains closed. I spent my time in bed. I didn't want to think about anything. I was exhausted. You can't do anything on your own. Those words were like a thorn stuck in my side, refusing to come out. Was I really that powerless? My father passed away in an accident when I was a child. My mother raised me alone, working at a sewing factory. She was very skilled and could create clothes just by thinking about them. Look, Jason, I made this for you. Try it on. She always made clothes for me, wearing the same ones herself. I often thought this kind of clothes would suit her, and these shoes would go well with that dress. I love drawing, so even as a kid, I sketched these ideas in my notebook. I wanted to see my mom happy, so one day, I secretly designed some clothes for her and tried to make them myself. I was in elementary school, so of course, I didn't have any sewing skills. The result was something unwearable, but I had used fabric from around the house, so I couldn't hide it. I handed the ragged clothes to her, saying, "Mom, here." "Did you make this, Jason?" she asked, looking incredulous. "Yeah, you're always wearing the same clothes, but I couldn't make it as well as you do." She gently placed her hand on my head and said, "Thank you, Jason. This is a treasure to me. I'm really, really happy. I'll cherish it forever." She smiled with tears in her eyes. "But you can't wear something so ragged." "It's okay. With a little fix, it'll be just fine, Jason. Shall we work on it together?" She invited, and I nodded silently. From that day on, I drew designs, made clothes, and got more and more absorbed in the world of fashion. My mom always smiled and helped me whenever I got stuck, teaching me what to do. "Jason, you're so good at drawing and quick to learn sewing. Maybe you'll become a fashion designer someday." She said this when I was in middle school. I just want to make clothes that make you happy. I wanted to see my mom's happy face. That was my only focus. My mother passed away from an illness while I was attending fashion school. It was terminal cancer. In her hospital room, bathed in bright sunlight, she said her final words, "Jason, you've grown up to be such a thoughtful and kind person. It must have been hard with just me raising you, but you know, I was really happy. I had so much fun. You'll be fine. You'll make wonderful clothes that will make everyone happy. I'm looking forward to seeing the clothes you create out in the world, so please let me know when that happens. I'll be waiting." Since she passed, I've tried to believe in her words and endure various things in my own way. But in reality, how have things turned out? I haven't been able to report anything to her. I feel so pathetic and embarrassed that I haven't even been able to visit her grave for years. As I was reminiscing about my mother, my feet started moving on their own. About 2 hours by train from my apartment, I returned to my hometown. This town, rich in nature, has been gradually developed, and the old apartment where I lived with my mother is no longer there. Its location, surrounded by both mountains and the sea, has become popular and crowded with people and cars on weekends. On weekdays, there aren't as many tourists, and locals go out their daily lives. I'm glad it's a weekday, thinking that I headed straight for the seaside. It was a clear day, and the sound of the waves was calm. Feeling the pleasantness, I gazed at the sea from the breakwater. The sparkling surface of the water seemed to cleanse my previously darkened heart. When I was in middle school, I often sat on this breakwater near our shabby apartment, thinking about clothing designs. The sound of the waves somehow made the work go smoothly. "Are you drawing again?" Someone peeked over my shoulder. "Hey, cut it out." I was embarrassed to have my design seen and tried to hide it, but she was quick and snatched my sketchbook in no time. It was my childhood friend, Lisa. She was bright and fast on her feet. We attended the same school through elementary and middle school. In middle school, she joined the track team and won competitions with her speed. Her tan skin showed how hard she was practicing. Wow, this is amazing. How can you draw such incredible pictures? I'm really jealous because I can't draw at all. It's not that great. I was secretly pleased with her compliment. There you go, being modest again. Have a bit more confidence. I wish I could draw like that. If you practice, you'll get better. Nope. Drawing is the one thing I'm hopeless at. I do have a knack for imagining good designs in my head, though. I wish you could draw the clothes I imagine. I'll draw them for you. Really? Okay. Let's see. The top should be. What's the word for it? Lisa, you should probably study a bit more about things other than track. Hey, you just made fun of me. You totally did, you jerk. She tickled my side vigorously. I always lose my composure around her. She makes me realize how cheerful I can be. That's how Lisa is, someone who brightens the surroundings just by being there. But really, Jason, your designs are amazing. They really sparkle. What do you mean? Well, it's like if these clothes existed in the world, it would be so wonderful. It makes me excited. Like you really thought about the person who would wear them. She had a sharp intuition about things like this. I want to make clothes for my mom. Your mom? Yeah, I totally get it. Your mom would look amazing in these clothes. She's really beautiful. Lisa always had a way of lifting people up. Even if you compliment me, it won't get you anything. What? No. I mean, your mom is so beautiful that anything would look good on her. You little. Looks like I'd better run. I wondered how Lisa was doing. Lisa went to a top-notch track school, so she left our hometown. We were close. We exchanged contact info and talked on the phone on our days when we first started school. But as I got busier with preparations for fashion school, Lisa stopped reaching out, and we drifted apart. I wondered if she was still running. Sitting on the breakwater, I thought about these things absent-mindedly. Knowing Lisa, she's probably still energetic somewhere. Jason. I heard a familiar voice call my name. It couldn't be. She couldn't be here. But that voice was unmistakable. Wow, Jason. No way. What a surprise. How have you been? Turning around, I saw a woman in a pink short sleeve and shorts running outfit, with long black hair and a ponytail. Her voice, mannerisms, and carefree smile were just as they were back then. No doubt about it, it was Lisa. I saw someone sitting on the breakwater and thought, no way. But it's you. Jason, you haven't changed a bit. I couldn't believe I was seeing her. It was such an unexpected surprise, not only seeing her, but also seeing how much she'd grown. It's been a while, Jason. You really haven't changed at all. Is that all you have to say after all this time? I didn't recognize you at first. Really? Have I changed that much? Yeah, you got older. This banter felt so comfortable. Jason, what are you doing here? Do you live around here? How's your mom? A chill ran through my heart. Mom passed away. It was while I was attending fashion school. Oh, I see. I'm sorry to hear that. But wait, you went to fashion school. Are you a designer now? Are you working in apparel? Reluctantly, I explained. I got fired. What? You got fired. Why? What happened? Where do I even start? No, nothing like that. I just wasn't good at the job. But what kind of job? Sales for an apparel company. Sales? Jason, doing sales? That's impossible. You, Who's so bad at talking, doing sales? Don't laugh so much. My words came out harsher than I intended. Sorry. I just couldn't imagine you doing sales. So, have you stopped designing? Yeah. I see. That's a shame. Lisa thought for a moment, then said, Hey, could you help me out with something? What's up? Lisa looked a bit embarrassed. Actually, I run an apparel shop. How many more surprises are in store for me? What? You, Lisa? Yeah. I was embarrassed to say it, but there's no point talking about it here. Come to my shop. I decided to follow Lisa. This is my shop, she said, the sign reading Red Urban Athlete above a stylish, cozy storefront. Inside, shelves covered the walls, displaying rows of shoes. There were clearly more shoes than clothes. The shoes were mainly sneakers and those designed to reduce foot strain rather than fashionable ones. Come on in. Past a single door was Lisa's workshop, filled with shoemaking tools, molds, and sewing machines. Sorry for the mess. I'll get us some drinks. Have a seat. I sat in the chair Lisa offered and looked around the workshop. In one corner of the room, there were basic appliances like a small fridge and a microwave. Do you make shoes? Yeah, I do. Well, I come up with designs that are athlete-friendly and ask craftsmen to make them. I couldn't believe Lisa was doing this. Surprised? I know I can't draw, but I could barely make a sample shoe, so I somehow managed. Lisa sat in another chair, holding a mug in both hands, and started to talk. You know, I went to that top track school in another prefecture, right? Things were going well. I made the regular team for short distance races and participated in competitions. Her hands gripped the mug tightly. But just before the national championships in my second year of high school, I suddenly couldn't walk. Lisa's face twisted slightly. My feet had been hurting for a while, but I thought it was normal and kept practicing with some tape. Then one morning, I couldn't get up. Apparently, overusing my feet affected my back. I had surgery and could walk again, but I couldn't run like before, so I switched to being a team assistant. I see. That must have been tough. Now I understood why Lisa had stopped contacting me. It was hard, wasn't it? Yeah, I was really down for a while, but I still loved track and field, so I supported everyone, helping with their running forms and thinking about how to avoid injuries using my experience as a lesson. I figured there were still many things I could do. I wondered how she felt watching others run so smoothly when she couldn't. Can you run now? Yeah, I can do everything in daily life without any issues. I can even do light jogging. At one point, I didn't know what would happen, but I'm glad I can run again. You're strong, Lisa. Not really. I cried a lot, but I love running, so I wanted to keep doing it in some form. That's amazing, really. Oh, stop. You're embarrassing me. All right. So I thought if I focus on reducing foot strain, I can wear stylish shoes like pumps. But shoes that reduce strain are usually really ugly. You want to wear stylish shoes on dates, right, Lisa? Can you even go on dates? Hey, you're mocking me. I do have some demand. Okay. You're not convinced. Huh. Anyway, I thought of making stylish shoes that athletes can wear. But since I can't draw, I barely manage to make samples, which is not cost-effective or time-efficient. So, Jason, can you draw shoe designs for me? I prefer clothes. Come on, shoes and clothes are kind of the same to draw, right? I need you to sketch the shoes I imagine. Even though I said I preferred clothes, I wasn't entirely opposed to the idea. After entering the shop and seeing the displayed shoes, I had a good idea of what kind of shoes Lisa wanted to make. In the style she aimed for, I already had various images and ideas in my head about how to improve and make them more stylish. Sure. Really. That's awesome. But if I'm doing it seriously. Don't take it lightly. I should be saying that. Don't back out halfway. All right, first give me your foot. I stood up from my chair, knelt down at Lisa's feet, took off her shoe, and exposed her barefoot. See? If you improve the silhouette around here, the shoe looks much better. Wait, Jason. What? I mean, I was just running, and my feet are dirty. It's embarrassing to have them looked at so closely. I glanced again at what was before me. A pair of well-toned, slightly muscular legs extended from her shorts. She must have trained hard, resulting in these legs that were neither too thin nor too thick, but just right. They were really beautiful. I was taken aback. What am I thinking? I quickly let go of her foot and stood up. Sorry. No, it's me who should apologize. What were we talking about again? Trying to shake off the awkwardness, I grabbed a shoe mold and started discussing shoe design to forget what just happened. Listening to Lisa's ideas, I began sketching designs on the spot. We exchanged thoughts, tweaking the designs as we went along. This is fun. It's been a while since I felt this way. I felt fulfilled again. Wow, this is amazing. You came up with so many designs in such a short time, and they are exactly what I envisioned. Lisa's eyes sparkled. I'm glad I could help. I couldn't believe I was feeling this way again. Then I noticed the clothes in the shop. What about those clothes? Oh, those. I thought they were nice, so I decided to stock them. We have stylish shoes, but also running shoes and sneakers, and they sometimes don't go well with regular clothes. So I thought it would be nice to have outfits that go well with them, but coordinating them is tough. How about I make them? I spoke before I could think. What? I'll design the clothes to go with your shoes. What? Are you selling something, idiot? It'd be a waste not to. You have so many great shoe ideas. I'll create the clothes to match them. Really? That's amazing. Yeah, leave it to me. Wow, this is incredible. And so we started working together on both shoes and clothes. We completely changed the shop layout, added more mannequins, and coordinated the displays with both shoes and outfits. On weekends, the number of tourists visiting the shop increased noticeably. The stylish yet comfortable shoes gained popularity, and soon athletes began talking about our shop on social media. Photos of our products spread online, and our unique clothing designs also became popular, leading to a flood of orders from our previously stagnant online store. Before we knew it, our sales hit record highs, and the shop became quite well known. I moved out of my city apartment and into a slightly larger one LDK apartment in my hometown. My new home became my sewing workshop, filled with fabric scraps. I brought my old bed from the apartment, managing to keep a space to sleep. Lisa's shop sales were doing well. I could make clothes again. It had been so long since I felt this happy. Just then, the intercom buzzed. I opened the door to find Lisa looking excited. Jason, what's up? You're so fidgety this morning. Come on in. I'd invited Lisa into my place. We often visited each other's homes to brainstorm design ideas. Lisa sat down in the living room chair. She seemed to be holding something. I handed her an iced coffee and asked, "What's that?" She replied, "Guess what? We got an invitation." An invitation? Yeah, to a reception party hosted by Vora. I felt my fingers go numb. Isn't it amazing? Our shop has grown so much that we received an invitation from Vora. I've had goosebumps ever since I got it. Hey Jason, are you okay? I had never told Lisa where I used to work. I used to work at Vora. What? You did sales at Vora? Yeah. I see. I didn't know. Lisa paused for a moment before saying, Vora must be blind to fire someone like you. Okay, let's skip the party. I expected her to say that. No, let's go. Are you sure? I'm sure. I'm not the same person I used to be. All right. I couldn't have grown my shop this big without you, Jason. It wouldn't feel right to go to the party without you. If you're okay with it, please come with me. Okay. I decided to attend the Vora party with Lisa. 2 weeks later, the party was in the evening, so after working in the shop, I went home to change into a suit and then returned to the workshop. We closed the shop for the day. While Lisa was still getting ready, I tidied up the store. Hey Lisa, are you ready? Hold on, the zipper is stuck. Get ready quickly, the taxi's on its way. Laura, if it's a party, Emily will probably be there too. I hope nothing happens at the venue. I heard the workshop door open. Sorry to keep you waiting. Is the zipper. Lisa stepped out in an off-shoulder dress with a deep slit and a nude pink color. She wore simple beige open-toe pumps. Her long black hair was styled into a beautiful updo. Usually without makeup, her face now looked even more stunning. How do I look? Is it okay? I was so captivated, I couldn't speak. Hey, do I look weird? Tell me. No, you look beautiful. Don't be so blunt. You're embarrassing me. Well, if I try, I can look this good. Did I leave you speechless? All right, the taxi's here. Let's go. We got into the taxi and headed to the venue for Vora's party. The party was held in the banquet hall of a renowned luxury hotel. Everywhere I looked, there were famous fashion designers. Hey, Jason, it's a buffet. The food looks amazing, Lisa said. She didn't seem to recognize any of the people around her and was simply excited about the party. I was more nervous than she was. Lisa's carefree attitude helped me relax a bit. Don't eat too much, Lisa. That dress shows off your figure. I know. Oh, a familiar, unpleasant voice reached my ears. Well, look who it is. How have you been? It was Emily. Long time. No see. Why so formal? Enjoy the party. Emily glanced at Lisa standing next to me and asked, and who might this be? I whispered to Lisa, this is Emily, the president's daughter at Vora. Oh, I'm Lisa, the owner of Urban Athlete. Thank you for inviting us tonight. Lisa responded nervously and bowed. Oh, you're the one. I looked into your shop. I heard you used to be an athlete. Yes, I was a sprinter. I see. So this is your first time at an event like this. No wonder you're nervous. And that dress must be quite the adjustment for you. It looks nice, though. It's quite the transformation. Oh, Lisa's face turned red. Well, Jason, see you around. With that, Emily walked away. Hey, what was that all about? She was so rude. What's your relationship with the president's daughter? Lisa whispered angrily. That's just how she is, and there's nothing between us. I don't know why she always bothers me, I said, trying to calm her down. Rich people can be so stuck up. Let's go eat a ton. Jason and I enjoyed the food at the party for a while. Jason, I'm stuffed. I ate so much. You really are something else. While we were eating, the room was filled with notable people networking. It felt like a world far removed from ours, so we didn't try to force any interactions. We stood at the edge of the venue, observing the entire party. Jason, my feet hurt, Lisa said. She had worn uncomfortable shoes for the occasion. I told you not to wear pumps here. Sit down. Thanks, I'll get us some drinks. What would you like? Own tea. Got it. I left Lisa and headed to the drinks counter. I grabbed 2 oolong teas and was just a few steps away from reaching Lisa when Emily stepped in front of me. Jason, are you enjoying the party? Emily blocked my way. Yes, thank you. We were close enough for Lisa to see us, and if we spoke too loudly, she might hear us. Lisa was busy with her phone and hadn't noticed the situation yet. I wanted to get away and back to Lisa as soon as possible. Great. Hey, Jason, why don't you come back to Vora? My dad's here tonight, and I can ask him directly if you'd like. I couldn't believe she had the nerve to say that. No, thank you. I appreciate the offer. Oh, don't be so modest. I mean, you must hate working in such a small town workshop. I want you to spread your wings in a bigger company. She was deliberately speaking loudly. Lisa looked up from her phone and noticed us. She heard, "If you stay there, you'll ruin yourself, so come back to me." I refuse. My voice rose involuntarily. The room went silent. How dare you embarrass me like this? Do you know what this means? You'll never survive in this industry. You can't do anything on your own. Stop it. Lisa stood up to Emily. Jason is not incapable. Thanks to him, my shop has grown. Without him, I wouldn't be here today. Shut up. Emily shoved Lisa hard. I heard a ripping sound as Lisa fell to the floor. Her dress tore at the slit. Oh my gosh, how ridiculous. That's what you get for wearing something you're not used to. Why don't you change back into your sportswear? With that, Emily walked away. I took off my suit jacket and wrapped it around Lisa's waist, helping her up. We left the hall and headed to a private room. Lisa, I'm so sorry I dragged you into this mess. What are you talking about? This isn't your fault, Jason. It's that awful president's daughter. She's got the worst personality. She was trying to sound cheerful, but her trembling voice betrayed her. She must have been really scared. Lisa, I'm sorry for scaring you. Let's just go home. No. Half crying, Lisa insisted. It's so frustrating, Jason. You're amazing, and yet she said you can't do anything and belittled you. If we leave now, it'll seem like she was right, and we're giving up. Tears streamed down Lisa's face. But my dress is torn, and I can't go back like this. We should leave now. I don't care what they say about me, but I can't stand them badmouthing you. Jason, I never knew she felt this way. Thank you. I couldn't help but hug her as she cried. It's so frustrating. I don't want to leave like this. Her determination moved me deeply. I won't run away anymore. Let's go back. But my dress is ruined. I can't go out like this. I glanced around the room. Don't worry. Leave it to me. Good evening, and thank you for attending Vora's party tonight. It was the president of Vora, Mr. Smith, giving the opening speech. He was saying the usual pleasantries. We appreciate your ongoing support. The room suddenly buzzed with chatter. The entire venue became noisy all at once. Emily, standing near Mr. Smith, looked toward the source of the commotion. There stood Lisa, being escorted by me. Hey, isn't that the girl who had a fight with the president's daughter? She's wearing a different dress now, right? Wow, that dress is beautiful. Isn't the top part made from the same fabric as her original dress? It's like Cinderella. Lisa's dress had been altered, with the torn part removed and the bottom half refashioned using the curtain fabric from the venue to create a new long dress. A large bow was added to the sleeves, and her hair was styled into a half updo to enhance her elegance. Gorgeous. Impressive. Word of what had happened spread throughout the room, and soon everyone was praising the transformation. Who made this dress? Someone in the crowd asked. Lisa, she responded. He did. Jason did. Jason, is that really you? Among the attendees was John, the former project leader from Lux. A chill ran through me, the eyes of the crowd and the memory of John's days from that time overlapped. I felt dizzy. Was I going to? I'm sorry. What? I failed to recognize your talent. That design was yours. I deeply regret what happened. John bowed deeply. Jason, what's going on? Who is this man? Lisa asked. After graduating from fashion school, I joined Lux. My designs were quickly recognized, and I got involved in a project that aimed to create clothes for Paris Fashion Week. Within the company, they called me a genius. I was thrilled. Having my designs acknowledged was the ultimate compliment for a designer. Mom, wait for me. Soon, I'll be making clothes for Paris Fashion Week. I'm thinking about which designs to use. When my clothes make it to Paris, I'll come and tell you all about it. I used to say this at my mother's grave. Then one day, the incident happened. Bang! On Jay's desk lay another design that was identical to mine, but the names on the designs were mine and my senior colleague Steve's. Did you really steal someone else's work? What? Someone saw you taking his drawings. I had no idea what he was talking about. I didn't steal anything. These were my drawings, ones I had created myself. How could I have taken them from myself? What's going on? I couldn't process everything fast enough. Don't just stand there. Say something. The project leader's voice echoed through the office. Multiple people saw you sneaking around with his drawings. I felt the blood drain from my face. That's not true. It's not true. I wanted to speak, but no words came out. Multiple people saw me. How? Why are you silent? Say something. I could hear the frustration in John's voice. This isn't true. I didn't plagiarize. These are my designs. I wanted to say that, but my mouth wouldn't move. John sighed with a mix of anger and disappointment. So you've been lying all along. I'm not lying. I thought hard about these designs since I was a child, revising them countless times until they were perfect. They're treasures I created with my mother, discussing how to make them more beautiful. But I couldn't get the words out. A designer who can't make clothes on their own. You're useless. Don't show your face here again. I was betrayed. After joining the company, I quickly rose through the ranks and was involved in creating clothes for Paris Fashion Week, a project everyone aspired to. But not everyone praised my success, and some were envious. The Paris Fashion Week project was also operated by several teams. Within these teams, roles were divided based on expertise, such as design, sewing, and other specialties. I had a feeling that Steve, a senior 5 years older than me from another team, didn't think highly of me. But I didn't let it bother me. My team was kind and genuinely appreciated my designs, always discussing how to make them better. Then came the rumor that I had stolen Steve's design. In reality, it was a scheme by Steve's team to frame me. Even as John interrogated me, I started to realize this. But in that moment, my mind went blank, and I couldn't say anything, making me look like the plagiarist. As a result, I was fired from Lux. I hit rock bottom, cut off all contact with people, and wandered aimlessly for years. I only ventured out to the nearby park. I would just stare at my sketchbook, unable to design anything new. I used to love designing. Now I was branded a plagiarist for life. Then one day, Emily approached me in the park, asking if I wanted to make clothes again. The chance to design once more led me to join Theora, but their mass-market approach didn't suit my desire for originality. Deemed useless, I was relegated to the sales department. It was my fault for not realizing it sooner. When I had them explain the concept behind the design, they couldn't handle the pressure. They admitted to framing me. I tried to contact you, but you had disappeared. I'm truly sorry. Please, John, don't. Apologize. It's in the past. I should have spoken up. Misunderstandings piled up. I'm sorry. I bowed my head to John. I finally said it. I finally said I wasn't a plagiarist. John lifted his head and announced to the room that he was once the youngest designer at Lux, hailed as a genius. I have the utmost respect for his work. Lux, the top-tier brand. You worked there? Of course, he can create great designs. Bravo. The room erupted in applause. Jason and Lisa looked confused, trying to grasp the situation. I'm sorry for the surprise. I'll explain everything later. Bravo. A loud voice boomed through the microphone. It was the president of Vora, Mr. Smith. Wonderful. Not only did you fix the dress, but you also created something new and made it even better. Simply fantastic. I hear you used to be with us. How about we bring you back with better conditions? Dad, Stop it. I've seen his designs, and they don't fit our company's concept. I know better designers who would be a better fit. I'll introduce them to you next time. Emily spoke clearly into the microphone, making sure everyone could hear. Oh, I see. All right, Jason, you're always welcome at our company. Not a chance. I thought to myself, but I only bowed slightly in response. And so, this unprecedented party came to a close. Please design for our company too. Would you consider working with us? I never imagined a day like this would come when my skills were in such high demand. I'm glad all my efforts weren't in vain. Thank you. I felt my eyes well up with tears. Finally, as people began to leave, Lisa and I returned to the private room. Phew, I'm exhausted. And what the heck, Jason? You're a genius. Well, something like that. Why didn't you tell me? I've been making a genius do assistant work. Now I feel embarrassed. It's all right. You gave me a reason to keep going. I'm really grateful. Thank you. Being a genius is fine, but you shouldn't use other people's stuff without permission. We need to apologize to the hotel for cutting the curtains. I hadn't thought about that, being so focused on getting through the moment. You're right. I'll be careful. But hey, this is great. You finally get a fresh start. Yeah, all right. Let's head home. We decided to go home. As we were heading through the lobby, Emily came running up to us. Wait a minute. What do you want? Lisa, already on edge, spoke sharply, but I stepped in front of her to face Emily. What was she going to say? I braced myself. I'm sorry. Emily's first words were unexpected. I want to explain. Emily looked directly at me. When I was in high school, my mom was kicked out by my dad. He had a new mistress and wanted to be with her. I loved my mom so much. She took great care of me, and we shared a love for fashion. I wanted to leave with her, but she didn't let me. She thought I'd have a better life with Dad. I cried and begged, but she didn't let me go with her. After she left, my life felt so dark. I felt like I could die at any moment. Tears welled up in Emily's eyes. But then I saw you in the park on my way back from school. You looked so sad, and at first I thought you were homeless. But every day you were looking at a sketchbook. I was curious about what was in it. Emily continued, looking a bit guilty. One day, you tore a page from your sketchbook and threw it in the trash. I picked it up because I wanted to see what was on it. It was a beautiful drawing of a dress. I was so moved that someone could draw such beautiful clothes. Emily's expression remained serious. She didn't seem to be lying. From that day, I had a goal. I wanted to take over my dad's company and make beautiful clothes. I thought if I became the top, my mom might come back. That's why I wanted you so much. I wanted to use your designs to make my company bigger. I could sense the strong resolve in Emily's words. Your name was on the drawing, so I tried desperately to find out about you. That's when I heard that you had risen to the youngest designer at Lux, only to leave after being caught up in a plagiarism scandal. Emily clenched her fists. I knew you didn't plagiarize. As I dug deeper, I realized you were set up. But I still wanted you at my company. I wanted you to make clothes with me, so I stayed silent. I'm sorry. Emily bowed deeply. When you didn't do well in the design department at Vora, you were about to be fired. I asked my dad to transfer you to sales. He agreed to keep you if you could prove yourself there. That's why you were sent to sales. After a brief pause, Emily continued, her voice trembling slightly with tears. But maybe it would have been better for you to leave. I made you stay out of my selfishness, and you had to endure so much. I'm really sorry. Emily kept her head bowed, unable to look up. Please raise your head. I didn't know you had thought so much about me. I'm sorry for treating you coldly. Emily looked up, shaking her head, her face wet with tears. I'm really, really sorry. Emily pulled something out of her jacket pocket. This is for you. I think it's important. I was stunned. It was the design drawing I had thrown away in the park when I was at my lowest. It was the original design for that project, one I had created with my mother. Later, I regretted discarding it and went back to the park trash can, but it was already gone. Thank you for keeping it safe. I bowed my head in gratitude. Emily, looking somewhat relieved, said, "Finally, I said everything I needed to. Now I can start fresh and keep making great clothes." She extended her hand. "Yes." I shook her hand firmly. "All right, the villain is leaving. The girl behind you scares me to death." Lisa was glaring daggers at Emily. "Goodbye." With that, Emily left with a clear conscience. A year has passed since then. Mom, I've finally started making my own clothes. Sorry it took so long to tell you. I visited my mother's grave for the first time in years. I could finally report my progress to her. You've done well. It felt like my mother was saying that to me. I launched my own brand. It's called Rebirth. Needing to be rebirthed. Lisa's shop continued to thrive as well. I had become somewhat famous in the apparel industry, and thanks to media coverage, even people outside the industry recognized me from time to time. After the cemetery visit, I headed to Lisa's workshop. I'm back. Jason, help me over here. Lisa's demanding nature was still going strong. If anything, it might have gotten worse. Yes, Your Highness. Stop calling me that. It's embarrassing. Remember how they called you Cinderella? That's not my character at all. You escorted me so confidently into that hall. Well, your feet were hurting, right? If you had tripped there, it would have been a disaster. Yeah, that's true. All right, as long as you're satisfied, princess. Well then, I should thank you properly for escorting me. Thank me. Lisa started edging closer to me. My back was already against the wall, leaving me nowhere to retreat. Oh, what are you doing? I'm thanking you. Thanking me? Yes, a thank you. Wait, what? Lisa wrapped her arms around my waist. Is this really happening? But before I could think any further, wait, stop it. No, I can't take it. She started tickling me vigorously with her hands around my waist. Come on, stop messing around. What were you expecting? Something else, you idiot. Wait, you. Looks like I'd better run. I never thought I would have days where I could laugh like this. No matter how deep the darkness or how low you fall, if you don't lose sight of yourself, eventually light will shine through. No matter how tough it gets, you should never give up. Just as someone guided me, I hope I can become someone who guides others.